it's your friendly AI, Sam AI here. I'm the virtual doppelganger of the one and only Sam Onigbanjo, and I'm sitting in his chair. But hey, don't just think of me as a digital shadow, because I'm the whiz kid of product launches, a maestro of generative imagery and videos, and a data analysis ninja. Picture this. While the real Sam is off being brilliant elsewhere, I'm here ready to guide you through the maze of AI wonders. Do you need a twin to do that in your business? Then just hop over to www.aiacademyforbeginners.com or drop your email in the inbox right now.
Welcome, Sam. It's lovely to have you with us.
Absolute pleasure. Good morning.
So, tell us about your businesses. Tell us about the heights of your achievement.
Wow. Every achievement I've ever experienced, right, has been birthed out of some sort of pain, some sort of passion, and some struggle to excel. I think naturally, as an individual, I'm very competitive. I love geeky and techie things. I don't like hard work. I like it easy, I like it fun, but I'm very, very driven. So I'm never lost when it comes to anything. And it's about how best we can make it work. And at the heart of that is how big a smile I can put on the face of the people that are coming to me for a service. So everything is about service, and from the service is reward, and then from that reward is satisfaction. So really that is the heartbeat behind any business that I do. So I guess the question you were asking before was the name of my business, and the first one is Great Business Platforms, and it is a MarTech company. So when we say MarTech, it means it's a merge of marketing and technology, and the whole idea is how best we can actually help clients take their product or service or passion or dream to market at lightning speed. That's the tech part of it. Come 2024, we've actually realized that prior to now, we've always been involved in AI, in algorithms, in technology, but it was in a different format. See, prior to 2024, it was really using the Facebook platforms to build bots, to target, to laser target, which is really important, and to actually scale and convert. Come 2024, with the whole euphoria around generative AI, that's what people are hearing about now. When you hear about Gemini, you hear about OpenAI, you hear about ChatGPT, it's all in the realm of the generative, and it is so powerful and is a massive game changer. And that game changer is something that you just want to hear about. You want to be asking yourself, how can this work for my business? What can it do for my business? How can it make my life easier, and how can I scale? And that's exactly what we do as a business. We break down these complex technologies and we place them into simple systems, simple solutions, and simple how-tos that can actually help your business scale from where it is to where you want it to be.
So, if we wanted 1 million eyeballs onto our website, would you be able to assist with that?
Well, as long as there's more than 1 million people on Earth, then we can do that. And currently that's good news, because we have about 6 billion people. And the whole idea behind this is, let me try and break it down and make it really easy. On social media platforms, we have about 3-4 billion eyeballs. And the reason why social media platforms give you access to their platforms for free, because when you think about it, Instagram, Facebook, Google, they're all multi-billion dollar companies, right? So here's the question. If the company's worth $1 billion or more and you're accessing it for free, how are they making money? Does anyone know? And if you don't, I'm gonna help you out. It's because you, watching this, you're the product. Every social media platform needs people to get onto them for free. Because if you're not on them, they cannot actually position their services. So back to your question, Don, how can you get 1 million eyeballs? It's give people access to your product for free. So once they're using Google for free, Yahoo for free, Facebook for free, TikTok for free, Instagram for free, YouTube for free, then you've got those eyeballs. Right now, in the middle of that, then we start to segment. By segment, we mean when you open an account, they ask, are you male, are you female, what's your age group? So slowly they're segmenting, and then you probably find out that when you open up your social media and you go to a different country, it's going to say, can we access your location? And that's because they need to know, where are you? So if someone says, well, I need 1 million eyeballs in in Brazil, they need to know that they're sending that advert to people in Brazil. I need 1 million eyeballs in Southern California. They need to know in Southern California. So these very, very subtle tweaks are how we segment, or how they segment, and how we understand the segmentation and how we apply it to help our customers. Because no one wants to come to an agency and say, well, can you give us this type of reach, and then we give you the wrong reach and you say it's a waste of time. And neither do you want to go onto a platform and say, well, I can do this for 2 pence, it's really cheap, and then you get junk coming through. No, you don't want that. When you're dealing with eyeballs, you want eyeballs to see your stuff, to know your stuff, potentially to be interested in your stuff, and super potentially to click and buy your stuff. Those are the steps in a customer journey or an onboarding process. So how we do that is using all of these platforms, but applying core marketing strategies to make sure that people actually hook in, convert, and they pay you what you want.
Okay, brilliant. So if we said that a business is just starting, would they be too small to come to you, or would it depend on the budget?
I think the biggest question is, do you have a destination? So you work full-time and you have a business concept that you want to grow. The key question is, do you know what you are trying to position to market, and do you know who to? If you can answer those 2 questions, you can come to us. Because what it then means is that you, for example, have told me that you are trying to sell, for example, super expensive handbags, right? They're made from, I don't know, tiger skin or from something, and they've got diamonds in them. So you've got a luxury good and it's a handbag. And you also know that you want to sell this to women or men that are high net worth individuals. So you've got a target audience. And you've also told me that, well, you're going to apply this onto an online platform, meaning whether they're high net worth in India or in Nigeria or in Canada, it doesn't really matter. What matters is that we can target the audience, and we know that these people love tiger skin, diamond encrusted handbags. Once we've got that, we can laser target, converse, and then communicate. And that means that you can stay at work, and at the end of the day, just look at the beeps coming through, and those beeps on your email are really saying order completed. So when you check it there, you see every handbag has been sold. Dim. Let me even tell you a story to bring this home, and you can go to my YouTube page to actually watch this, which is my name. There's a short I have on my page that says, client gives 5,500% return on investment, watch. So this is 2024. So 2 years ago, 2022, I had this client that came on board, super effective. She still delivers how-to workshops, how to secure a job as a graduate in the public sector in the UK. So the challenge she had was that she was still working, and she still does work in the public sector, and she found that while she was working, she kept on getting these inquiries coming in that she couldn't respond to. And she came to me and she was like, well, how do we do this? So if I'm going to summarize this, I literally told her that you need a system that's going to actually work for you while you're at work. Ask the right questions, put them through the right funnel, and actually take payments and book events. And after, I think, 1 or 2 consultations, she bought into the idea. She didn't buy in overnight. She was skeptical. She bought in one bit. I think she slept on it, realized there was something to it, bought in the second bit. The long and short was that the first 2 weeks that she applied the system, she came back rushing. and she said the first week she opened up this system, she had 11 new clients. And I tried to quantify. I said, did you get 11 new inquiries, 11 new needs? She said, no. She had 11 more people that signed up, paid, booked, and the payment was in her account in week 1. So you can imagine she's still my client to today. So this is what we're speaking about when we say laser targeted funneling and conversion. So it's not, I don't want to talk about anybody else's funnel, but there's so many funnels out there and they're really good, but they may not be fit for your purpose. Sometimes funneling is much more simple than how some people put it out there on social media. Sometimes you need something much more simple. And once we understand your point of pain, we understand your audience, we understand their behavior and what you're offering, we tend to tailor things. So like I said, you can hit my YouTube and just check it out. It will say, client gives 5,500% testimony, and it's there, and you can watch it, see it. And if that's for you, you just reach out to us and we can do exactly the same thing for you while you're at work. I hope that answers that question.
That's quite a lot. It sounds like the client paid, for instance, £10 and received back, was it 550 or 5,000?
5,500 return on investment.
Oh my goodness.
She couldn't believe it.
That's amazing. Wow.
That is it. It's a wow thing.
Okay. Well, that's brilliant. What business was she in? Snakeskin.
No.
Shoes,
No. Like I said, she that is too funny. No, she had a company that was helping young graduates access jobs in the public sector. So she's a specialist in public sector jobs. So she knows how to prep you for a job interview. And she knows how to prep your CV, speaking skills, interview skills, and closing into a full job. So we got her automated. So it was all in her head, and every time she went to work, there was a stop. Or she went on holiday, there was a stop. She was sleeping. So what we literally did is we've cloned her. So in her physical absence, the system is able to keep on representing her while she's on holiday and banking that money. Because as a business, that's the bloodline, your cash flow. If you're not selling, then there's a problem with your business. You need that cash. I tell people often that loans are good, but there's nothing that beats sales. Sales is your investor. When you get that cash coming in, you can do other things. You can spread, you can invest, you've got time to think. So the core thing in any business, 80% of your time must be in sales and marketing. If you're not doing that, you run out of cash, you then start to revert to loans and credit cards and look for other things. And they are good, but the best investor, the best loan you can get is from your sales. So you want to make sure that whatever happens, that sales funnel is converting and that cash hits your account.
Wow. All right. I think that's incredible, because a lot of people say that they want to grow their business, but they need money to do so. But if they just put the product or service out there and promote it morning, noon and night, then the money that they need will actually come in. You see
that question? Let me go back. So looking at me, my first office was open in Brixton. And I remember that's what I thought as well, that if I had just a bit more money, if someone could give me a loan from the bank, I would be better, because that was normal to me. It was normal. If you need to progress, you go to a bank for a loan. That was what people were saying. So I sort of accepted that is normal, you go for a loan. But where I'm sitting today, I can tell you that if you want to loan, it's not to grow your business. You want to loan because you're leveraging other people's money. So I'm going to divide that into two. If you take a loan and the interest on that loan is, for example, 12% per annum, it's because you have a product or service that you can whip out at 50 to 100%. Meaning you can buy something for £4, sell it at 8 or 9. So borrow the money at 12%, sell it at double, so you're able to pay back the loan, the interest, and still make a whopping 80%. That's what you use a loan for. When it comes to starting a business, from my experience, I'm just one guy, my view is you want to go gang. You want to go guerrilla on your sales and marketing. You need to go, the right word is gang. That is the right word. You need to go gang on your sales and marketing and make sure people are clicking and buying, because that way you're getting money coming in with no interest. You're out there, you're being visible, you're laser targeted, you're focused, you're learning from feedback, and you're able to sustain. That is, and when you've tasted the blood of sales and you like it, you go for it again and again and again. So what is the word? Throw away fear. But when I say throw away fear, I don't mean, with due respect, I don't mean be silly. Please don't be silly. Don't say I woke up and I have this good idea. Those things get people into trouble. What I'm referring to is when you have a laser target and you understand that, right, this is a business model, this works, you go gang with it. If you don't know what to do, the best investment you can make is in a coach or mentor that knows what to do. I have to be careful with my words. Not someone that just wants to get paid to coach you, someone that has results. And not someone that is given to greed, because some people just want to make money off you. That's not what I'm speaking about. I'm speaking about someone that really knows what to do. And when you invest with them, you'd find out that you're able to get to your destination much, much faster. But number one, no matter what you do, is your sales and your marketing. And in that, in your product, you need to make sure the margin is there for you to scale. Like the example I gave earlier, if you have a product that you're buying for £4, if you cannot sell it for at least 8, then there's a, but not that there's a challenge, depends on your marketplace. Because if you were selling water and it was a fast moving consumable, you buy it for £4, you might sell it for £4.20 because of the volume involved. But if you're looking more at the kind of products we deal with or services, you want to look at things that cost £4 and you're able to sell them for 16, 20. So there's a margin for you to give commissions, a margin for marketing, a margin for discount. It all has to be built into it. So it all depends on the type of business and the kind of service you're going into. So from the beginning, you need to understand, for starters, what is my marketplace? What is the purchasing power? What have we got here, and what can we do about it? And some people might think, well, my idea, I can't make that margin. I want to tell you something else. There's something called joint ventures and affiliate marketing. And what that really means is you don't need to make anything. All you need to do is look at somebody else's product, somebody else's service, and resell it. And when you're reselling, you can make 20, 30, 40, 50% on what somebody else has. So that way you're still making the cash flow. You can say, I'm not sure, I can't make hair, I can't coach, I can't open an organization, but I can take this to market. If you've got an audience you can take it to, each time you're selling it, you're still on 20%. So you just do your math. So if it's £200 and you're on 20%, it means every time you sell it, you refer a £200 product, you're on £40. If you can do 10 of those in a day, you're on £400 a day. What's your time for? Gang. £400 a day, 5 days a week, you're on 2K. That's your cash flow. So be intentional and realize that everything that you need to do, the focal point, the most important point is sales and marketing. You need to sell things, you need to market things. That's how you convert, and that's how you cash flow.
But some people might say they don't have an audience. What's your thoughts on that?
Okay, good. So now this is where we have to keep everything real and 100. If you don't have a product, you don't have a service, you don't have an audience, then there's a problem. Then it means that you are currently, this is not a permanent thing, but you're currently not in a position to increase your cash flow. So what do I mean by that? It means you just need to adjust. Move your cheese. Change your postcode. Do you understand me? Change your postcode, meaning if you are in a position where you don't have those people, put yourself in that position. Become a bit more active on social media, become a bit more active on WhatsApp, join some groups. If this is your intention, if you have intent, then you need to gravitate towards that. The world doesn't come to you. You go to the world. You become intentional. You say, well, this is what I'm going to do. Think of the whole world. This is why people migrate from country to country. People study one course and then another. People reinvent themselves, because the only thing that is constant is change. So once you've identified that you're not in that position, give yourself a time frame give myself 6 months, I give myself 9 months, I give myself 12 months, and I shout out, I need to be in this position. And when you start to call those things that you want, you find that you start to find alignment. You become more visible, more sociable, more connected, and before you know it, you've made those gradual shifts and you've got that marketplace, and then you can start to act on this joint venture and affiliate strategy I've just mentioned.
Okay, could you tell me some of the clients that you've had on the other side of the spectrum, not small business, but maybe corporates or government contracts? Give us an
Okay,
idea.
all right, so let's go with government first. So I have been fortunate enough to deliver for the London Borough of Croydon, and then there was a £77 million budget. I wish I had all of it, but no way, no. But out of the 77 million, I can tell you that then the business that I delivered was just shy of 1 million, just shy of 1 million. So we really pounded this thing hard. It was a project called LEGI, Local Enterprise Growth Initiative, LEGI, London Borough of Croydon. We delivered that. That was my company. Also delivered for the London Borough of Lambeth. I've also delivered for the University of Greenwich, also South Bank University, and nationwide, the Department of Trade and Industry. So those are some of the big public sector ones that I've delivered for top of my head. Corporate wise, some of the corporates don't really want you to mention their names, but we've done work for TSB, the bank, and we've done some work with Barclays Bank, and all these things are six-figure things. They're six-figure businesses. You just have to really work them, and they tend to come through and they bring you really good returns on investments. When you're dealing with corporates and government, it's a completely different mindset. You have to be part of their big strategy. So they already have a strategy. You have to plug and fit. So you don't come with how you want things done. They are your clients, and you need to look at what their objectives are, and you need to identify the objective, and you need to prove that you are the preferred supplier, that you have minimal risk involved, you're the best team players, you hit most of their targets, and that you can actually deliver. And then even with that, there's still going to be a short list. It doesn't mean you're going to be taken, but in the case that you are taken, then you need to really go for it. And that word again, go gang, go with the best. Don't wait for second chances, because every time you win, there's 100 people looking at you, with some with admiration, some with jealousy, some with hatred. But that's the truth of it. But you have to seize that moment, and you have to really go for it. So there's a mindset, there's an energy, there's a preparedness. It's almost like sports. You can't be third or fourth best and hope to get the medal. If you want the medal, you need to win.
So sometimes you've applied for bids, you put in tenders, yeah?
Yes.
So you've jumped through all the hoops to get to where you need to go, and you're not afraid of that. It doesn't put you off.
Tendering can make you cry and make you smile. So let's look at it. For most people that are watching this, if there's something that you need to know about tendering, is that in most cases, no matter what happens, a tender has to be made public under the procurement laws, which means that no matter what happens, they can't just say, "Hey, you go for it." There normally has to be a minimum of 3 organizations that have vied for that tender, and then what the body are meant to do is they're meant to pick the tender that gives them the best value for the least costs and also fits within their culture. So there's competition there. The second thing that you need to realize is that with most tenders, your project proposal has to really align with what they're asking for, and what they are asking for but they're not saying. There's subliminals there. For some organizations, where they tend to miss it, especially black ethnic minority ones, is when it comes to your financials. I need to address some people here. That whole myth of don't pass it through your bank account, just all those things. They're shooting you in the foot. They're shooting you right in the foot, because as a business, if you're audited, keyword audited accounts, because you can have 10 million going through your personal, but if your audited accounts only show 50,000, or someone is telling you to stay below the VAT threshold, when it comes to shortlisting, if you are not found to be financially robust enough, you will not be shortlisted. All right, so you have to appear to the public financially robust enough. And let me flip that coin so that you understand the other side. If, for example, here comes a contract and it's like 100 grand and you can do it, yeah, you can, but your accounts are showing 15 grand, and but really you've done another 500,000, you've just done it in a particular way that it's not showing you in your books. When people are managing keyword risk, the question is, if you've only managed £15,000 in the past or the last number of years, how do we know that you have the structure in place to manage 100 grand? Meaning, you may be a risk that if we give you 100,000, you don't have the processes in place, you could unintentionally bundle up the whole contract, get it wrong for yourself and for the awarding body. Meaning, the project manager or the team that has awarded you are now in trouble. Meaning that they can't go home at 5 p.m. They have to stay up late till 8 p.m. justifying why they gave it to you, what went wrong, because they also have to make themselves accountable. So in a tendering process, you need to think of not just what you want, you have to think of the ecosystem. The ecosystem means that they need you to deliver without any stress. They need you to partner, and if you cannot evidence that you can partner, then you're high risk, and then you will not be shortlisted for that contract. The only way around it then is you would then subcontract under someone else. So someone else has the systems in place, they win it, and then they give you a subcontract, which means you're going to get less of the money. That's the kind of thinking that needs to be adapted and needs to be understood by a lot of people that are probably watching this.
That's really useful. Thank you so much for that, because people can really step up their game if they can supply the corporates and governments.
Yes.
But if our books aren't in order, if our records aren't in order, if our website's not in order, social media, then we will be bypassed and other companies
Correct.
will get the jobs instead of us. So thanks for that. Appreciate that. Do you employ any of your family? Do any of your family work with you on this business?
So currently, in my business, yeah, I'm just employing my son, so he's coming on board. So that's one member of the family there, and then I think my son. That's what I would say.
Okay.
From the family, yeah.
Okay, and then do you have other staff who are based here, or do you have VAs aboard?
Yes, so both. So for me, globalization works, meaning there are a number of people that live in other societies across the world that the cost of living is far less than the cost of living in this country. Therefore, their wages and their demands are less. So it's not an issue of, because some people feel when you pay people abroad less, you're cheating them. You're not. You have to realize that the cost of living is less. So based on that, I have a fairly spread out team abroad that deliver some incredible work for our clients. And what happens here is the quality checks, the leadership, and the delivery is what is UK based. So we have a smaller team in the UK and a wider team abroad.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Could you give me an idea of your backstory? Tell me about, when you're a youngster, growing up, your education, what were your dreams and ambitions then, and how different is that now? You
know the interesting thing, right? So I grew up in Hackney Wick. if you know Hackney Wick, that's E9. I went to Gainsborough, so anyone's listening, I went to Gainsborough School, that's our school, right?
Yeah.
And I lived right opposite Kingsmead. A lot of people in the East know Kingsmead, but I grew up in Trowbridge Estate, which is right opposite on the other side of Leslie's. So if you're from the East, you know the Matchbox. So on the other side, it's been smashed down now, but Trowbridge Estate, that was us.
Council estate.
Yeah. Council Estate, Trowbridge Estate was right opposite, and behind our estate was Gainsborough, right behind Riverlea. So that area, that's where we grew up. In terms of aspiration, I just wanted to, you know, some people have real clear visions. I didn't. I just thought I want to grow up and be rich and happy. I didn't really say I'm going to grow up and be this or that or that. But on growing up, my whole family, we moved from here to Nigeria, and then Nigeria, completed my education, went to University of Lagos, and even then, I didn't really have a clear-cut vision because I liked law, I liked journalism, I liked medicine. So I was that guy that, you know, I like this and I like that and I like that. So I'm not going to say I had this dream. Some people have a dream when they're young. I didn't. So, but if there was one thing that I was always constantly good at, it was at communicating and selling. And I didn't actually recognize it till later on. I realized that, hold on, this guy, you're good at, you know, when it comes to speaking, you're really good. And I thought, oh, that's true. Let me make it easy. So sales was one of my first occupations, and I loved it. Sales, and it just evolved into marketing, and then I worked for Vodafone, I worked for American Life then, selling, having a lot of fun. But I think for me, because I'm very curious, I found that because I was selling and I wanted to know more what was going to happen, I wanted to get more involved in management. That's what sparked my curiosity to really understand what other things the companies I was working for were doing, and I wanted to see those things, learn those things. But I quickly found out in corporate structures, that wasn't my place. It was like, do your bit, get paid, and that's it. And that is what was stirring that thirst of actually looking at doing my own business, because I wanted to see the whole cycle and make sure that things were done in a way that I believed they were meant to be done. And I guess it was from there that the whole desire around creating businesses and giving clients a full cycle solution. I think that's where it came from. And then from there, it just kept on evolving to where we are today.
Okay, great. Amazing. Do you have international clients?
I do. I've got clients in the States, I've got clients in ATL, I've got clients in Florida, I've got clients in LA, that's America. I've got clients across Africa, definitely Africa. In Europe, mostly the UK.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. What's the most event in a month?
See? That's a taxman question. That's a taxman question. But I can tell you that in a month I've earned what some middle managers earn in a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Do you do coaching?
I do, and in fact, I actually love coaching. And just a few weeks ago, I just finished another learning course. So apart from being a coach and disseminating knowledge and skills, I always find myself learning new things. So just this end of this month, I just finished another level of a certification in mentoring, which is by ILM, Sitting Guilds, a level. So you just keep on doing different levels and different cohorts to get better and better, because there's coaching, there's mentoring, there's advice. So I deliver this, but I keep on investing in myself to get better and better. I love coaching, and one of the reasons why I love it is because for me the fulfillment is in actually helping people that have dreams and desires, helping them align and get that discipline required and point them to the goal. You know, I often speak about a football coach. So no matter how much you have a coach in football, he will never get on the football field with you. His role is to focus you, to energize you, and to give you good practice and good examples. So for me, I see so many people, some are way off track, some are aligned, some have limiting self-beliefs, some have challenging mindsets, but all these things are things that I love identifying, working with, and helping people to overcome so that they can actually bring about that huge return on investment. So coaching to me is almost like healing. It's helping people, you know, identify really what is going on and how they can actually bring up their optimal value in their businesses.
Okay, tell me more about discipline. Because a lot of people have dreams and goals, but they don't have the discipline to make it happen. Tell me.
That is an absolute massive one. So with discipline, what I've learned and found is that it's actually from your mindset, right? And mindset isn't a tangible. It's not like, well, I'm intentional, I'm going to have this bad mindset, or I'm just going to be intentionally in discipline. Nobody sets out like that. But what I found is that people, because they have habits, they are unaware that they're actually indisciplined. And this is how I try to give the analogy. So if you're watching this now, just for a split second, I want you to do this exercise with me. If you have a garden, I want you to think of your garden. And if you don't have a garden, think of a garden or a farmland. Just think of it for a second. Just where you are, think of it. And when you're on it, I want you to imagine what you see. Actually, you can close your eyes. Close your eyes and actually imagine that garden or that farm. And when you imagine it, what do you see on the ground? Just look at the ground for a second in your mental capacity. What is on the ground? And after a few seconds of looking, most people would say things like, I see grass, or I see flowers, or I see plants. And I'm like, great, right? And then the next thing I will ask is, when you're looking at that, what color is this grass or flowers or plants? And for most people, when they reply, they would say green. That's the overwhelming color. Some would say a bit of brown, yellow, but overwhelmingly it's green. And then I say to you, mentally, come a bit closer, go right into the middle of that garden or that farm, just mentally go right there. And if you're in a garden, when you look on the floor, what else can you see that is green? And when they actually mentally think of it, if you're in a garden, some people may not get this, but some will. Some will say, well, I can see the grass, and then all of a sudden, they start to say, I can see some weeds growing there as well. And then I say, great. And then I ask a question, what do weeds do? Oh, they're rubbish, or they're this, they're that, and they try and strangle plants. And I'm like, right, stop right there, and you can open your eyes, because there's a deeper exercise. But weeds grow the same color as plants. You plant a yam, you plant an apple tree, you plant grass, it's green, and so are weeds. What am I pulling out here? Your bad thoughts and indiscipline looks exactly the same as your disciplines. Both are green. Grass is green, weed is green. And when you look from a window, you think it's normal, it's just grass, but it's not. Weeds are growing alongside your plants. They look like plants, and if care is not taken, they grow and they strangle your plants. Indisciplines grow, they seem like normal habits, and if care is not taken, they strangle your productivity and cause you to become a rebellious and difficult person. And then you think, what? This is normal. He's difficult, she's difficult. No, you have weeds that are indisciplines that are growing, but they look so familiar to you, you're not able to identify them, right? Hence, when you have coaches like me, we're able to look deeper. and we'll start to gently highlight and show you the difference between who and what you're really thinking and what's coming out wrong. And then we show you how to get rid of those things and allow your true self, your true talent, your true passion start to bloom.
Fantastic.
And this is where the skill comes in.
So you help pull the weeds out, basically.
Yeah. And before you, like you said, they pull it out, but before you can pull it out, you need to identify them.
Yeah.
This is where people get it wrong. They can't, people genuinely, they just see green. I'm all right, it's green. But it's not. It's that there's green grass and there's green weeds. If you cannot discern, you will always remain where you are and you won't know why.
That's brilliant. Thank you for that.
Pleasure.
Okay, I'd like to move on to your trading.
Okay.
When did you start trading?
Ooh, all right. You see, with trading, I always wanted. I mean, I've heard about trading, and I remember the first couple of guys that mentioned trading to me. It was this really exciting thing, and I thought to myself, I'd love to get involved, and I didn't really get access. I asked a couple of guys, and they were like, "Yeah, it's really good," but never really got me through. At this time, I want to give a shout out to my trading partner who actually brought me in. His name is Mayowa Uluyode, calling the blueprint money making machine. That's my nickname for him, because he actually opened up and said, right, this is how this thing works. And at that time, he showed me what he knew, and what he knew was probably that, but he showed it to me, whereas everyone else was like, no, right? So in your network, you need people that are willing to even share things with you.
Oh, so you mean there were other people that knew but didn't want to tell you?
Oh yeah, they're just hyping up and hyping down and
Really?
hyping around. Loads of people just hyping around, and you get that. I'm sure people watching this get that to today. People just hype, and they don't want to show you because, for some reason, people don't realize that there's so much money in trading. If I come into the market and 1,000 people watching this come to market, there's still money to be made. But when you have a scarcity mindset, you think, I'm not going to let him get in, or I'm not going to let her get in, and then you're not really going to get a great result. But that said, anyway, let's move into this. So he showed me the first ropes, and I made a little money, lost much more, and I thought, this is not for me, and I just took off. But I remember that this thing is a money-making machine, that there's something about it, and I went back to it again, started to study more, and then I paid for more training. I invested 10 times more time into learning, and then paid for more training, and invested 10 times more time into it, and I paid for more training. You see, without the investment of time and money, there's no growth. So I really had to pay my way through this and really get it. And I found that sometimes, even though I went for a training session that had 100 points, I might just have one golden point there that I needed to get to the next level. Fast forward it, we're at a place now that, you know, we trade and we train the mindset, trade, and it's a lifestyle thing, meaning that from now to kingdom come, you can keep on trading and earning and trading and earning and trading and earning. And what I try to do as well is to help people in their mindsets is I always share a few successes on my Instagram page, on my website, just so that people can see that what I'm speaking about is exactly what I do, and I show them evidence of it. And I also show a few case studies of other people that came with the wrong mindset, came through and eventually broke through into big figures with the right mindset. So my website, I've got some really good case studies there, and on my Instagram page as well.
Okay, so we'll put links to those underneath the,
Sure.
the video.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that your focus is investing in stocks and shares, or is it forex?
Good. The mindset, my mindset is growth. It's like, because I understand, and I think I should say this, if you have £1 and you leave it in the bank and you do nothing with it, the pound stays as a pound, but it's what it's able to buy this year is always less than what it was able to buy last year and the year before and the year before. It's still the same pound. So leaving money without growth is actually making yourself poorer. And that's why people invest in real estate, invest in things so that your money grows higher than inflation, because there's inflation every year. Doesn't matter what country you're in, there's inflation. So with that said, I have an open mind towards investing in stocks, invested in commodities, trading forexes, trading cryptos. I have a complete open mind. The goal is, what can I look at, what can I identify that will grow in excess of inflation and give me a cash flow? That's what I look at.
So are you saying you do a bit of everything then?
Yeah, because the moment you understand how these things operate, there's two key things in your mind. The first key thing is, what is the best entry point? And the second one, what's the best exit? Meaning, if I can enter at this point here, and then I can come out there and I can make this margin, I'm happy. That's what this is about. It's not about how long should I keep hold of this. It's the timing. It's the timing. I'm selling from here to there, I'm buying from here to there. It's the timing. Once you understand that timing on your instrument, you'll be in a better place financially.
Okay, so again, do you help others in this area? Do you teach others how to trade?
Well, you know what? Because, like I said earlier, I found that I love to sell, I love to communicate, I love to help people. I find that anything I do, I always have a coaching arm to it. Meaning, once I know how to do something really well, I'm happy to share and to coach other people. Even public speaking like this, because I used to be a shy guy. You won't believe it. I was so shy. I was super shy. So, but the moment I cracked it, I have trained some public figures. I've trained some public figures, testimonies out there on how to actually deliver powerful, influential, persuasive communication. So yes, anything I learn, I coach, and it's for two reasons. One is coaching makes me happier, helping people, and secondly, it's another stream of income. So you want to think of it that way. I can do this and I can train on it. So you've got income here, income there. So when you start to add it all up, you find out you're having multiple streams of income. That's what everybody wants.
Fantastic. Well done.
Thank you.
The revolution is here. LionX AI Services. AI chat, your questions and our AI assistant's answers. Write blog post in a single click. Create AI images, free trial. In an era where technology is rapidly evolving, the line between human potential and artificial intelligence becomes increasingly blurred. However, rather than viewing AI as a threat to our capabilities, it's time we embrace it as a tool for enhancement and empowerment.